Desde el norte traigo en el alma la alegre samba que canto aquí y que voy. So, basically, the question. So the first question would be like, what is Eddie's Bakery?
Oh my, that's such a deep question,
Is it? It's
Yes.
great.
Well, because Eddie's Bakery started as a small Latin American just bakery,
Mm.
right? So my dad would bake, especially Colombian products, because we are from Colombia. And we would bake things like the cheese bread, cheese sticks, empanadas, which are really popular Latin American dishes.
Yeah, they look good.
They're really delicious. But we were also kind of changing into giving people food service. So we started making lunch combos. So we were giving, the meat. There is a very traditional dish from Colombia which is called bandeja paisa, and we started selling that as well. However, that was so much work and there were so many things to do at the same time that we had to kind of go back into becoming just a bakery, and then we started selling the imported products, right?
Mm.
So we got into business with Sagu and Frutalia, which are both Colombian importers. So
Okay.
they are here. They import products from Colombia. They import fruit tea, chocolate bars, and coffee. And that's how the partnership started, and that's how we were able to kind of direct it and change the bakery a little bit more into not only bakery but also a store where you could buy some very unique imported products from Colombia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I noticed those were things such as like the hot chocolate and the
Yes.
sort of coffees.
Yes.
And I noticed there's these chocolates as well, which is pretty amazing. Those
Yes.
are pretty good.
Yeah, the chocolates from Sagu, which are the ones from Colombia, they are all gluten free,
Okay.
vegan, and some of them are sugar free options. And they're really, really delicious. And as well as the frutalia, which is the fruit tea, it's like it's really different because it's liquid tea. So it's not something like you find in a tea bag and you just put it inside. No, it's just liquid. The liquid substance, you just
Oh,
pour
so
it
it's like a syrup.
inside. It's like a syrup. It's like a
Okay.
fruit syrup.
I see.
Yeah. So you pour it inside, and you could have it either cold or hot. So that's been a huge boom. So we've sold a lot of that. Now in the summertime, we're trying to sell a little bit more of that also cold. So with a bit of ice, and then that goes along with our Colombian baked goods.
Yeah.
So it's not only just the bakery part of it.
It's also there's the desserts like the chocolates, there's the tea, there's the
Yes.
coffee.
Yes.
So there's things you can drink, eat, and have as a dessert too, which is
Exactly.
really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question is, what kind of, I guess I don't know if you did answer this, but what inspired you to start Eddie's Bakery? I guess you kind of did bring that up.
Right. Okay. So Eddy, who's my dad, he's
Yes.
been in this business forever. I think he's been a baker for about 35 years or
Oh
so.
wow.
He was a baker in Colombia. We had a bakery in Medellin. Um, we started looking for new ways, and then we came to Canada. He had a business, a bakery as well in Toronto. And then we started one in Mississauga. In Mississauga, it's still there. It's called Antojitos, but it's not ours anymore. So we sold that one. And then my dad came to Barrie. He opened his first bakery in Barrie. That was on Dunlop, also named Antojitos, which later on became the Mexican House. And then he wanted to retire at some point. So he said, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to stop. But he fell in love so much with Barry and all the people. And then he said, you know what, I'm old enough to retire, but I'm young enough to continue working.
There we
And people
go.
were asking him, like, we need your products back. We need you to,
Oh,
yeah, because of course the other businesses were sold and then the products changed a little bit, even though they're really successful, they're really delicious. It was not Eddie's products. And that's how he started. He just said, okay, I'm going back, but I'm going to open this time just a smaller shop. And then I'm just going to,
so
be
he's kind
there.
of like a magician. He has some sort of spell with his cooking where
He
it's
loves
really
it.
good, right?
He is really
Awesome,
amazing at what
yeah.
he does. And it's just, it's funny because a lot of people tell us, I've been to Colombia and I've been to bakeries in Colombia,
Mhm.
and this one is better.
Really?
It's funny, yeah.
Wow. So this is actually pretty cool that we got. This is a nice. It is nice, and I remember I actually did get the chance to just admire how he's doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell obviously he has that level of expertise because my grandpa, he bakes as well. He
Oh,
likes
that's great.
baking, and there's like Polish dishes like pierogies I was bringing up to
I
Eddie's.
love those.
And so he was telling us that the enchiladas are kind of a similar sort of stylization of, but
The
like
pierogi, the
yeah,
empanadas.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. So those were like growing up, my grandma and
Mm-hmm.
grandpa, they would have like a huge cutting board, a wooden one,
Mm-hmm.
and they would actually create the dough. I would be there with my sister, and he would always make these sort of like, I guess, along the closing you would make like that little style
Right.
and stuff, and it would always be like some sort of chicken turkey with like onions, right?
Yeah.
Or there's
Mm-hmm.
also sauerkraut. They like sauerkraut, Polish people,
They
right?
love that. That's
And
really good. Those pierogies are
they're
delicious.
very good,
Yes.
yeah, especially when you fry them with oil or butter. They're like the texture is
I'm
amazing.
watering now.
So like what is it? He also like there's a lot of Polish baked goods like this poppy seed roll and stuff. I could show
Okay.
you like a picture of that later, but
Mm-hmm.
he kind of, you guess, he has those magical hands too, because whenever we would bring those to like family gatherings, it would be done like within the next hour.
Yeah.
So that would be always amazing. But
Yeah.
I did see Eddie like making these cheese sticks, and you know the way he was able to have like a conversation while still like
Well,
being
yeah, he doesn't
focused.
stop.
Yeah,
It's
it's actually
crazy.
quite admirable. Like he's very
Yes.
focused, dedicated to his craft,
Mm-hmm.
and he truly loves it, right?
He does. He does.
And I
It's
think
it's his life. It's been his life all along.
it's his like passion. And you know, I was
Yes.
told this saying where passion is the most attractive thing a human can possess.
Yeah.
Like you see their eyes glitter, or they always are talking about that. You know, even when we walked in, he just knew everything, like just how
Mm-hmm.
to explain it. Um, you know, the cakes, the empanadas,
Empanadas.
the cheese sticks, and all the other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cheese balls too,
Oh, those are
and the
good.
bread. So that's
Yes.
actually that was pretty amazing. The
Mm-hmm.
admiration and the love for that craft.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's see. So, what surprised you the most about starting the business?
What surprised me the most? Well, I wasn't living in Barrie at the time when my dad started to, started the business. I was living in Colombia. I was teaching English over there, and my dad was here almost alone. I do have my other brother over here, but he's doing his own
Oh yeah.
thing. And my dad's like, I'm going to start this business, and I'm like, oh my god, dad, you're getting on it again. Every time my dad starts a business, I'm just like, not again.
Yeah.
Having a business is such a huge responsibility. It's so many things that you have to worry about. And of course, I had thought my dad was going to retire. So I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, my dad's done with businesses. And he's like, I found this spot and I want to buy it. And I'm like, okay. And then
Mm.
15 days later, he's like, I bought it. I've
Really?
got it. And I'm like, okay. So it was really surprising because I didn't think my dad was going to start another business. But I guess it's what you were saying. His passion for it didn't allow him to just retire. He just said, retiring and not doing what I love is not really retiring.
Mm.
Doing what I love until I'm out is much better than just retiring and doing
Exactly.
nothing, right? So at least he's doing something for his community. He's doing something for the people he loves. He loves Barrie so much. He's been here in Barrie for about 6 years now,
Oh wow,
and he
yeah.
really, really loves it.
It's cozy. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really lovely. So that was really surprising. And then the business started growing so much
Oh
that
yeah.
he's like, I can't keep up with it. And as I told you, I was living in Colombia, I was teaching there, and I just said, okay, dad, I'm gonna come and help you out. So I decided to just move to Barrie to help him out because it was just way too much work for him on his own. And that's how, everything changed. Like I had been living in Colombia for the past 7 years, just teaching English, and then I just decided to move to Barrie to help with the business, to help my dad, and now everything just keeps growing and growing.
And so, like now that you bring up the teaching thing, so there's you, Anna, and then Eddie. And
Yes.
so, Anna, is she like a sibling or a cousin, or is that your sister? Or
So Anna, she is from Chile. She
Mhm.
is not a family member. She's not Colombian. We met her here, and it's kind of like she became part of us, part of the family, part of the business. She's living with us as well, so we share a house
Okay.
together, and then we share the business. And she's like our right hand, so it's kind of like a sister to me as well.
Also, it's like
Hmm.
the family from another family sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
it's like there's that close sort of interaction and stuff
Yes.
where it's like you are part of our family. You know, just the way of thinking and stuff. I feel like that kind of made it even easier
definitely, because we did need help. You know, my dad was just on his own, and then I came here to help him out, and then Anna stepped up into the team, and she's been doing such a great job for the business as well. Because now you see that we not only have the Colombian products, but we also have Chilean products. So we have the Chilean
Mm.
empanadas, which are kind of like her personal touch to the business, and those are selling really well as well. So it's nice, and we have the Chilean community coming more and more.
Oh
So
yeah. So
so
like,
now it went from just a Colombian place to more of a Latin American place. And then we also have some products from Mexico. So we have the Mexican conchas, which are sweet bread with like a sugar coating on top. And
okay,
those are,
that's
yeah,
good.
mouth is watering. I think we have some, so I might get you to try one.
Really? Okay, that
Yeah,
sounds.
with
I'll love
coffee.
that. With
So
coffee,
you
okay.
know what we do with the conchas, but this is something that I learned because I'm not Mexican. But
Mm.
I used to have just the conchas with the coffee, and I would just take a bite of them and then take a sip of coffee. You know what they do is that they dip the concha inside coffee
Okay.
or chocolate, specifically chocolate. They dip it and then they have it, and it's such a nice
Interesting. So,
touch.
like, with the sort of customer base that you get, is it usually, have you noticed, like, it's largely like the Latin American group sort of thing, or?
So at the beginning, it was more just Latin American. So it was, it started with my dad's Colombian friends and Colombian customers that already knew him and that knew his products and that wanted to come. And then it just started growing more into general Latin American. And then now I feel like during the week, most of our customers are from everywhere, just, in general community, Barrie's community in general. And then our weekend customers are more of those Colombian people that come because we not only sell products that are freshly made, but what we do is that we also freeze our products, and then you can bring them home frozen, and you could just heat them up in the microwave, air fryer, oven.
I noticed that with the empanadas,
Empanadas,
the 10
yes,
pack, right?
yes. So
And
we
stuff.
sell them like that. So we notice that during the week there are a lot of the day-to-day customers that they're going by, they work at city hall, they work at the
Mm.
companies close to us, and they just come to get their coffee, to get their cheese bread or the empanada. But during the weekend it's more of those Colombian customers that are really busy throughout the week, and they come and they just buy all of the frozen products, they bring them home, and they have their whole meal planned for the week, because not only the empanadas are frozen and the cheese breads, but we also have frozen soups which are from Colombia. So there is one very traditional stew called sancocho, and we have another traditional chicken soup which is ajiaco, and we sell those. We don't sell them fresh to have here because this is more of a takeout, but we do sell them frozen, and you just bring them home. What I do, because I'm really lazy, is that I put them in the microwave and I just put them there 5 minutes, they unfreeze, and I have my warm soup.
Okay.
Right. So my dad also makes that. He loves it, and they're really, really good. So
Interesting. A lot
mm-hmm.
of good stuff, mouth-watering
Yeah,
stuff.
really good.
So, let's see. Well, one of the questions were like, what are you best known for? I guess we kind of did talk about that with the coffee, the enchiladas,
Empanadas.
empanadas, empanadas. Yes. There's some other things I noticed, such as the cakes and stuff. Are those kind of Latin specific as well, or is it just kind of like tell me more about those cakes? So the cakes are
The
they?
tres leches cake.
Oh, okay, so they do
Hmm.
have a name. Okay,
Yes,
interesting.
it's a name. It's traditional Latin America. I think it's originally Mexican, or it's really popular because of Mexico. I'm not completely sure of the background of it, but we do have it in Colombia as well, and we call it tres leches. It's like a vanilla cake, but what happens is that we dip it in milk, but it's like a milk substance with milk and sugar, three types of milk. So you would say evaporated milk,
Yeah,
condensed milk,
yeah.
and regular milk plus
Okay,
sugar. And so we dip it. We grab the vanilla coffee, we dip it in there, we bring it back out. So it's really moist. It's not a
yeah.
normal cake that you just like a birthday cake that it's not so soft. I guess it's a little soft, but this one is more of filled with milk.
Interesting. So the
Hmm.
actuals, it's almost like a sponge, I guess, right? Like
It's like
so,
a sponge,
it
yeah.
soaks up all
It,
of the three types
mhm,
of milk and
yes.
the sugar. So when you're making that process, is the sugar added with all three of those milks together?
Everything. It's just all.
Okay.
It's like we have a bucket of all these three milks, and then we just dip the cake in it.
Mm.
And then once the cake is ready, we also pour it on top even more so that it soaks even more.
Okay.
So what
So,
what happens is that it has to keep fresh. And what we've noticed is that keeping it frozen keeps it fresh for longer. So we prepare it fresh, we cut it into slices, we freeze it. So when you come to get it, it's frozen. You bring it home, you leave it out to unfreeze for about 2 hours or three, and then it'll be perfectly moist and ready
so
for
is
you to
it
have.
better, I guess, is it better to preserve that like in the freezer, or can you keep in the fridge to let it?
You can keep it in the fridge if you're going to have it within the week,
Hmm.
within a week. Like
Okay.
after a week, the moist is just it's just going to continue absorbing moist, and it's not going to be as soft anymore,
Mm.
right? So that's why we sell it frozen, and once you're going to have it, you keep it in the fridge for you to have it throughout that 1 week. But
Okay.
after that, it's not as fresh,
Interesting.
right?
And
Mhm.
so, yeah, so the what you're best known for, we kind of did talk about that in a
The
general.
Well, what we're best known for would be the empanadas. Those are the
Okay.
best sellers. So, and it's because I think we have about 7 or 8 different types of empanadas, and the Colombian empanadas specifically are gluten free. So that's a product that a lot of people love to have
Mm.
because of that uniqueness of having gluten free product. And we have the Colombian one is made with corn in the outside. They're deep fried, and then they're filled with potato and chicken or beef or cheese. But we also have the Chilean ones, which are filled with beef, olive, eggs, and we have some that we call panzerottis in
Yeah.
Colombia, but they're the Colombian panzerottis, which are different from the original panzerottis. They're also small, similar to empanadas, but these are not gluten free. They're actually wheat flour. Mm, we have ham, cheese, pineapple, and then we have the other one, which is pepperoni and cheese,
Yes. Yeah, I
and the
saw
one
that.
that is beans, black beans, and pork, pulled pork. Oh,
Oh,
that
really?
one's my
So it's
favorite.
just pulled pork, or it's bean and pulled pork?
Beans and pulled pork
Really?
together.
Interesting.
It's really good.
And so which one is like the best one that you notice a lot of customers enjoy the most?
The
Like,
best seller would be the Colombian beef empanada, which
okay.
is the gluten free one, deep fried, made with corn in the outside, potato and beef inside. That's the most traditional Colombian empanada, and that's the best seller here. That's the one that we
Interesting.
sell the most.
Awesome. Yeah, they look amazing. And the nice thing is that they kind of just show you right there and there, right? When you walk in, it's kind
Yeah.
of just in your face.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
they look really
And they're
good.
really fresh. They're really good. And yes, again, all of these we also sell frozen, so you could just
Yeah, I
bring
noticed.
them
Yeah.
home. They're already deep fried, so you don't have to fry them at home. You
Okay.
just have to heat them up either in the microwave. I prefer air fryer. I think they have a nice texture when you
Mm.
heat them up in the air fryer, because the microwave kind of makes them a little softer, and the air fryer just makes them crunchier.
Yeah.
But I do both. So sometimes when I'm lazy, I just need something quick.
That's
Microwave.
very, yeah. Whatever is
Yeah,
easy. Yeah, but nice thing is it's pretty easy to like warm up, and then you can
yes,
enjoy it. It doesn't take
yes.
30 minutes or an hour. That's the nice thing.
Exactly, just 2 minutes.
Mm, amazing. All right. Okay, here we go. What were the problems you faced when you started the business?
Okay. I think what I was talking about before
Mm,
regarding food and selling food is that a lot of customers ask for a lot of things. And my dad, because of his passion and his love for the business, he wants to please everyone. So if somebody would come in and they would say, "Oh, you should sell this," he would start making it. And then, "Oh, you should sell this," and he would start making it. And then we ended up with so many products, but because it was just a few customers for those products, then we didn't really know whether we wanted to keep all of these products or kind of, you know, make the list a little shorter, let's
hmm.
say, and then have better products of just the one kind. So it was technically difficult to come to know which products were the best for us to focus on instead of the other ones. And then the other ones, we just keep them as specials for the weekend. So sometimes we have those products on a Saturday or on a Sunday, but then we don't have it every single day. So I think that was the biggest thing. We wanted to please everyone. We wanted to give as much to the community as possible, but then that was kind of keeping us off track
Yeah.
from the real bestseller
No,
parts.
exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Let's see. here we go. So how did COVID-19 affect your business, and how did you cope with it?
Okay, so we opened the business during COVID,
Yeah, so
which is a huge
challenging.
thing, very challenging. That's also something that was really shocking to me because my dad's just buying a business and opening right in COVID, and of course that's why so many businesses were selling, and of course they were selling in a very fair price, let's say. But my dad knew, he had faith that everything was going to go right, and with his products, it didn't matter whether it was COVID or not COVID, he was going to sell either way. I think it did affect, or it does affect, in the way that people are not coming out so much. So we don't have delivery settled yet.
Mm,
We're still working on that since we just opened not long ago. Um, we're kind of still working on getting delivery and starting with these other delivery companies. Uh, that's been the huge thing because people don't want to come, they don't want to come
yeah.
out of their home. Not everybody does. And also, a lot of people are working, so it's difficult for them. We've started delivering to people that call us, and then my dad kind of goes in a little bit and
Okay.
he takes the food to them. And then we also deliver to a lot of our Latin American customers after we close. So at 6 p.m. we close. My dad puts these products in his car and then he goes to people's houses and he takes the products to them.
Okay.
But it's not really something we were doing at the beginning. So that's
Hmm.
why it was impactful. There were days in which it was really lonely. Also, the weather impasse.
Yeah, the
So,
weather,
people were not coming out of their houses, and especially because we were right at downtown. So there is a lot of
traffic.
movement, there's a lot of traffic, and yeah, people
But it is a
were
nice
not.
location nonetheless. Like, you're right beside City Hall, and like, I wouldn't say like you're in the heart of like downtown. There's like, if you go down, there's like
It would be
that
like
one,
Dunlop,
yeah.
that street.
But
Yeah.
this is quite, of a comfortable location where, you're beside so many buildings that have a lot of people that might be, coming to your guys'
Hmm.
bakery for the amazing experience, the food, and all that stuff, right?
Yes,
Which
yes,
is
yes.
an amazing thing.
Hmm.
Um, okay, and let's see. So, what was the most fun you had running Eddie's Bakery? Like, what's the most enjoyable time you have when it comes to running this?
The most enjoyable time.
Fun, enjoyable, yeah.
Okay. Probably, as you know, my dad plays the guitar and he
Yes.
sings. So it's probably those moments in which customers that are just coming for the first time become family so fast because my dad just talks about music. So he not only loves baking, but he loves music. So if it's a kind of a slow day, a family comes in, they want to sit down, he comes sit down, he grabs his guitar or his instruments and he starts singing to them, and that just makes such a great environment. I think that's probably the funnest thing about having this, that my dad gets to enjoy both of his passions.
And exactly, it kind of creates that sort of unique experience. And I
Definitely.
feel like compared to like, like those major stores, like grocery stores and stuff, they don't have that wholesome feeling, right? Compared to like
Exactly.
what you guys offer. Um, like that's an amazing thing to actually see, right? And I actually did get the chance for him to actually show me the instruments, which is
Yes,
very cool. There's like three of them, I think, right? There's the
he has
guitar, the
the
accordion, which was
accordion.
very shiny. It's very
And
well
then I
maintained.
think he has a big drum as well.
He was saying the drum. Yeah, that's the third one,
Yeah.
and that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so he told me that he would play that. He learned about that like in high school or something like that.
He's been learning all along. I think for the accordion part, he's been doing it for not long, maybe the past 5 years or so.
Hmm.
That's the last instrument he started learning.
Hmm.
But guitar, he's been doing it all his life. He actually met my mom through playing the
Oh, really?
guitar. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. It was My mom's family is also full of musicians. So my mom's older brother, who is also a musician and guitarist, met my dad first playing the
Mm,
guitar, and then that's
interesting.
how my dad ended up meeting my mom.
It's very cool. Very
Yeah,
romantic.
very
Right? So
romantic for
that's
sure. Yeah.
awesome. What is it? Yeah, we actually did end up seeing on one of the reels, I think, on your guys' Instagram, where
Yeah.
we saw him playing the guitar. Not the
Yes.
accordion, but the guitar I do
The
remember.
guitar.
And that was quite amazing. I think the video was, there was an audio for it too, where you could hear it. So that was
Yeah.
beautiful.
I
It
think he's
was.
still shy about the accordion because he still feels like
Yeah,
he's learning.
that's fair.
So he doesn't bring it out unless he's really, he really knows the people. He's okay. But maybe we should tell him to bring the guitar and sing for
That
us.
would be
I'm
cool.
going to try. I'm going to try
That's
to get
interesting.
him
That
to
would
do
be
that.
awesome. Um, so I guess the next question is, what is the next big milestone that you guys would like to accomplish for Eddie's Bakery? You mentioned things like delivery. Is that one of the?
Delivery,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's one of the things that we're working on. Social media, definitely being more involved in social media. That's one thing we've been working on over the past 2 months. So that has helped a lot. And now delivery is coming up next. After that, we're probably going to start getting, let's say, better packaging for our products. So we would like to package our products and distribute them to other stores. So
Okay.
the frozen products that we already have, they're really good. They're really nice for you to just keep them at home and then just to have a quick breakfast in which you could
Oh,
warm
I
it
see.
up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like one of the things that we want to do. I guess we'll wait.
Yeah. And so, what is it? Do you guys ever choose to like? Would like a future thing also be? Would you ever want to like expand to like another store and have two of them, or like even expand to other retailers that would sell your product? Would that ever be something you'd ever want, or?
Well, honestly, I've thought about it. I like the idea. My dad is a little unsure about it
Yeah,
because of what I was talking to you about him trying to just keep it cool and have a small business and not get too big.
that's fair. Yeah,
Um,
keeping it wholesome and small
yes,
is, it kind of gathers those people who have real appreciation for that sort of thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And when businesses grow too much, you have to go to a higher scale, and you
Yeah,
have to become more of a huge supplier of mechanical.
yeah,
It becomes less homey. So I don't
exactly.
think that that's something he's looking into. It's something that I would definitely want, but we're still not fully,
Yeah, I
let's say,
think it's
sure of
actually a good
that.
idea to just kind of keep it small because
Yeah,
it captures that hominess, right?
yeah.
That comfort, that sort of idea of, you know, having your father, right, who bakes and also comes down to actually play the music.
Mhm.
You're never going to see that anywhere else.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
yeah.
And that idea of the wholesome experience, how it's very homey. It's a beautiful like location. It's nice and clean as well, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like that kind of makes it very unique, right? In that sense,
Yeah.
you guys kind of focus on like that Latin America sort of theme of foods, desserts, chocolates,
Mhm.
coffees.
Yes.
I feel like that's amazing.
Yes.
All right. Okay, and it looks like this is our last question.
Okay.
What advice do you have for other small business owners?
Oh
Yes, other
my.
entrepreneurs. That's
Other
interesting.
entrepreneurs. Oh gosh, this one is a tough one. I
Yeah?
think this one is better for my dad to answer. I'll see if he can come
Yeah,
in
no
with
worries.
it
So that's the
and then
nice
he
thing.
can answer because I think that even though I've supported the business a lot, bye guys, even though I've supported the business a lot, I think that he is the one that's dealt with all of these challenges the most. So I think it's better for him to
Oh
give
yeah,
that piece of
absolutely. And
advice.
like I know he's a busy person, but
I'm gonna bring him out. It's okay.
yeah,
I'm his little girl, so every time I say he has to come, he'll come.
it's either we can always have him seated or even like while he's in action, like making the stuff. That would even be very cool too.
That would be yes.
That's
Yeah,
something I
you
actually
guys could
wanted to
do that.
capture is like the magician in act, right? Sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the sort of maybe we'll see like the secret side. No, I'm just kidding, but like it would be an amazing thing to capture that, right?
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
that. Now it's casual conversation, so it's
Oh,
a bit more
okay.
less stress. But basically, I think what we wanted to kind of do is, I think that's what he's doing right now. So it looks like Dev's kind of like capturing the sort of hominess of the place.
Mhm.
We want to sort of bring that comfort and whatnot. I don't know. It's beautiful. And did you guys draw that all yourself? Like, did you?
That was me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I drew that.
interesting. So you're a
Um,
bit of an artist.
I guess.
Yeah, that's some nice writing. My writing is terrible. It looks like chicken
Yeah.
scratch.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a teacher too, so I guess teachers start learning the art of drawing on the boards.
So did you teach, I guess, in Colombian, right?
Yes. So I grew up in Mississauga,
Mm,
and that's where I went to school. I graduated at St. Paul Secondary School in Mississauga, and
okay.
then I went to Sheridan College for early childhood education.
Mm,
I got my TESOL certificate to teach English as a second language.
mm.
And then a huge event happens, which is mom passing away. And
Oh,
that's when I decided to go back to Colombia. I had close family over there. I had my aunt, my grandma, and I said I want to be close to them. And I went back there. I ended up falling in love with it, and I just wanted to stay there. So I started teaching, and I taught there for 7 years.
oh wow.
Yeah, until
Yeah.
now that I came back.
I feel like when it comes to like teaching, it's there's actually that saying. What is it? I don't know if you know Winston Churchill.
Yes.
So Winston Churchill, I admire some of his quotes, right? But one of them was like, everyone's willing to learn anything. It's how you're taught, right? I feel it's very true. Like teachers in general, like in the education system, especially in elementary and high school, because that's when kids are growing most in both mentally and physically, right? A lot of hormones and just I noticed that there's that sort of wall that they hit actually in a sense where society hits them, right? Getting a job and dating, having a car and stuff, right? I feel like it's really important for people, regardless of the age, to stay curious, stay ambitious. I don't know. I think that's quite important, right?
I agree. Definitely.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really nice place. I'm not here full time. My dad's the one that's here full time. I'm normally coming during the weekends. I do
Mhm.
have another job,
Oh yeah.
so I am a coordinator at Oxford College. I don't
Oh
know if you know
really?
that.
That's pretty cool.
I'm the career services coordinator over there. So during the week, I'm coordinating
Yeah.
there, and then on the weekends, I'm here eating everything.
It's
I
fair.
I don't consider myself I come here to help my dad. I
Yeah,
consider that I come here during the weekends to just eat everything and
that's
to
fair.
chat with customers, but that's all I do.
It is very good though, so I don't blame you.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
very good.
it's tough. And I've tried to lose weight a few times. It's impossible.
Oh,
It's
you look
okay. I
great.
gave
So
up.
yeah, like it's
Thank
not
you.
a big deal. Yeah.
I
And,
gave up on it. I just went like, it's okay. I'm not
mm.
going to stop eating empanadas and cheese bread. I'm
So
just
then,
gonna keep eating
at
it.
the expert school, do you actually teach too?
I don't.
No,
I'm
did you
just the
want to?
coordinator. Oh, I wish I had enough time to do
Yeah.
that. I wanted to. There was a moment in which I didn't have a lot of projects and things on my plate, so I wanted to, but oh my, there are so many things going on right now that it's
Mm.
kind of difficult.
Yeah, that's fair.
Para brindarles mi alma en esta samba que